And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, we apologize for the extended break hope you enjoyed the brutal OC nonetheless, but welcome back to the second series of the night. Welcome back to the quarterfinals of the Code for Giants Cup number 11, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Ximius Gaming. It is Dorminhoco. Or Acordado. Shake ahead, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner we have the Brazilian Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Ximius Gaming as well as their teammates. It is Shakti. And I had a bit of a lesson in Portuguese, so I was very confused. But acordado in Spanish means to confirm, or like agreed, or like, you know, I got you, like that sort of thing. That's what that word means. And so I just assumed that this was a player that I'd never seen before. I was like, oh yeah, cool. And I was speaking to Shakti, and Shakti was telling me, oh, Sleepy said BRB. And I'm like, Sleepy? Wait, what? Is this Dorminhoco? And he's like, oh yeah, that's what that means. I should say, it's a pun because his name means the opposite in Portuguese. So apparently in Brazilian, acordado means to be awake. It means like, I'm awake, like I'm alert, like I'm here. As opposed to in Spanish, which is I got you, or I agree, sort of thing. So yeah, yeah, there you go. Now we know. So this is not a player that's never before seen on the channel, but this is Dorminhoco, aka Sleepy, who I would say is one of the best Zerg players in Brazil at the moment. I would say maybe top 2, maybe top 3, still behind Eric, but a strong player nonetheless. There we go. Sorry, just setting up his name. Strong player nonetheless, and we'll see how he compares to Shakti. We shall see. Again, it was the previous edition where I want to say the highlight of the entire night was casting Dorminhoco in his series against Yan. If you recall, in that ZvP, was very intense, very back and forth. But how does he compare to Shakti? Shakti, who is the strongest Protoss in the region in Brazil. In Latino America. Let's go. Also, before I forget, predictions, they should have closed by now, but predictions would have been open in the chat. So, best of luck. Best of luck, Matthew. As the reps are moving out. Likewise, Hatchcat's full standard opener out of our Zerg player, spreading his creep, getting his queens ready. Lings are amassing as well. He's just setting up. Likewise, Shakti takes on the tumor. Just trying to threaten the bases, denying some of the creep. If I do recall, I don't think I've actually seen much of Dorminhoco's ZvP. I've seen him against Terran, don't get me wrong, and I've seen him very Roach heavy. I'm curious if he's willing to go, you know, Roach Ravager against Protoss, or if he's willing to try to cut corners and rush into Hydra, into Lurker. Does have options. Behind this, we have our take of choice. Going to be a Stargate opener here by Shakti, going into an Oracle. Overlord will confirm, we'll save it to the main and get eyes on the take of choice. Is where the Stargate is where of the Oracle. So standard open out of Shakti, getting into a third base, getting into not just one, but I imagine 2, 3 Oracles, harassing across the map, and establishing his third. So far so good. We are embracing the early game, getting into the mid game. The Lings, they do come in for the surround, not bad. One Adept is gonna fall, nice pickup, and can we get the other? More Lings do flood in. And it looks like we should be able to get both Adepts, a probe as well. Very nice attention to detail there from the Zerg player. Able to take down both Adepts and force back the Oracle. Behind this, that's going to be a 4-minute lair for our Zerg player. I mentioned before I was curious if we were going to be embracing Roach Ravager, but upon seeing the third, upon seeing the opener, it looks like Dorminhoco is embracing Ling Hydra. I'm assuming because of the faster lair, it's going to lead into a faster Hydra then. I'm assuming. We shall see. This +1 melee is on the way. And +1 melee to help support those Lings. Double Oracle moving out. Third Oracle's on the way behind this. And we'll see if Shakti can find any damage. So far, the Queens are keeping up. Yeah, plenty of Queens in position. Plenty Queen is going to be rotating. Spores are set up in each mineral line. One spore for each base. And so far, so good. Blink Stalkers, oh sorry, I should say Stalkers are revealed. Blink is on the way. I don't see a Forge though, no +1. Uh-oh. Without a Forge, without +1, I'm leaning towards this becoming a 3-base all-in. We're still in a low gateway count though. So I'm waiting for the gateway explosion. We have a handful of gates on the way. Shakti poking in. There's that Hydrogen almost done now for the Zerg player. Again, going Ling Hydra. And Ling Hydra is ideal against Blink Stalkers. As again, still no Forge for the Protoss. Still no Forge for Shakti. That is concerning. There we go, Forge now on the way, but it's heavily delayed for the Protoss. And as a result, he's going to have a bit of a harder time scaling up into a longer game state. Link's getting across the map, going for the Stalker. They do force the overcharge. Link's have to back off. Oh, catching out the Stalker. Going for another, but won't quite be able to get one. Leagues are cleaned up, but back at home, the Hydra count is slowly building up. Fourth base now being taken. The fourth is a little bit later here for Dorminhoco. He was more concerned with establishing himself on 3 bases, on the 3-base economy first. We'll see if he can keep up with Shakti. Bleeding out of Hydra. Nice target firing from the blue Protoss. Kiting back, takes down the Lings. That we should be no God, every time there's a moment like this, I hold my breath. I'm like, is my internet going down? Not again. But alas, it is gonna be Sleepy's internet struggling a little bit here, unfortunately. If he does lag out, we can always remake. It's all good. This did happen last edition as well, actually. I mean, it happened to everyone. I remember there was a game where Dorminhoco lagged out, I lagged out, I think Shakti lagged out as well. Everyone lagged out. Latin American internet and Australian internet as well. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. Alright. Here we go. We are back. Get the Stalkers, they will back off. And, this time... Okay. They're all... No. Yeah, we're going to get a mix again. I'm looking forward to it. As Stalkers, they will back off. We just see back at home, Shakti going to be reinforcing and transitioning out of this, working towards Charge, working towards Storm and Temple Archives. And there it is. You have the mix of Hydras. Let's go. The biological and the mechanical. I wonder if the players can see that. Stalkers are going to be forced back. Dorminhoco does defend. Ooh, we can calm things down for a moment. Yeah, we apologize for the disruptions to the game, but we can continue. Dorminhoco still establishing his 4th base. What I will say though is that the work count is still looking quite low here for our Zerg player. There we go, 9 drones on the way. Lurker Den being thrown down as well. Getting into Hydra Lurker. No Hive yet. No Infestation Pit, I believe. No, there is an Infestation Pit. But no Hive. But yeah, you can see the buildings. We have a regular gas geyser. And a mechanic one and a synthetic one. Let's go. So Noki does get eyes on that expansion. I mean, that's kind of cool because it shows us, you know, the older Hydras. We'll see how many of them survive and how many of them get replaced. True. Zelda is attempted. Unfortunately, Shakti just using default skin all around, so nothing too special here. But Storm is now finishing up, and what's terrifying is that Shakti is about to hit his Storm timing before the Lurkers are ready. 6 Lurkers are on the way, and we need them desperately. Lurkers are morphing in. Shakti rotating around. Pushing between the bases. Again, Storm is ready. And I'm not so sure that 6 Lurkers are going to be enough. It's going to be close. So far, so good. Shakti getting ready for a run-by. Throwing down 2 more Robos. That should be for more Immortal production. Soon to be potentially Disruptor as well. There's no bait yet. Just Immortals. Shakti trying to brute force his way through. And the hive has now completed. Oh, we only have 5 Hydras left of the original. Oh no! We're down to 3! 3 original Hydras remaining. And the others will morph into Lurkers. Hydras, oh my god, massive storms! Storms do connect. Lurker shots going up. Oh my god. Alas, no detection with the main army. Baneling Water Bite coming in. At the same time, Zella warping into the main. Dragging Dorminhoco apart. He's trying to keep up. So far, he does maneuver his Lurkers. But Zella's trading well. You want Banelings, they do crash in. Up! Oof. Look at a handful of workers. 4 probes going down. Another massive warping into the main. And Dorminhoco just can't keep up. Bleeding out so many Hydras here to defend. As Zella trade well. At the same time, no detection! Oh my god! Calm down! No detection, so the Stalkers, they take a lot of hits. The High Templar did survive. Likewise, Lurker Den barely surviving as well. It's on fire, but will live. As finally Shakti rocks up with an Observer. Gets a Revelation off as well. He has detection, but alas, Dorminhoco has survived. Did cost him 17 drones. Lost a lot of workers here in the main. Did take a big blow to his economy. And what's terrifying is that Shakti may have lost a little Stalkers pushing into Lurkers, but the Immortals and the High Templar, they survived. And now we have an extra wave of Immortals, more Archons. The high-tech units did make it through, and again, without a higher Lurker count, they can just break in. It's Revelation. Storm's coming in as well. I just think, oh my god, the Storms to the face! They take them to the face. Now we have no more Hydras left. The original Hydras are all gone. Oh my god! And once again, the Storms are brutal. And Lurkers repositioning. And last, the Immortals are breaking through. There's just no support for the Lurkers. They need more Hydras, more Lings, more Banelings, more anything else. On their own, they're so exposed, so vulnerable. And the Lurker count is getting reset. Lurks are cleaned up. GG gets called, and Shakti will take game number 1. Whew. GG. Shakti will take the first game. Again, honestly, the Zealot Warpins, Zealot counterattacks were doing so much when it came to at least just keeping the Hydra count low, making sure there was just barely any support. There were never any Banelings to, help maintain the main army either. We had a Baneling round by earlier, that is true, but never really any Link Bane to help support and help buffer for the Lurkers. To threaten the High Templar. Alas, in the end, Shakti did snowball out of control, and with that, Shakti takes game 1. Takes the first game. Now we're getting ready for game numero 2. Game number 2. Meanwhile, it looks like most of round 2 has completed as well. Again, the bracket is progressing. We'll be focusing on this series, and then we might be able to catch Eric in the upper half of the bracket later on as well. Hopefully we can catch him later on. Likewise, I believe Cosmos is covering Inexorable versus Mantagina. Mantagina even. I believe he's covering that. We are going to be jumping in. As game 2 is going to be on site Delta. And this time it should be smooth sailings. Should be. Fingers crossed. That the power doesn't go out again. Fingers crossed. For any PT translations, I'm here. Oh, let's go. I mean, we can maintain ourselves. It's okay. It's okay. It's close enough to Espanol. Close enough. We get it for the most part. And here we go. We are getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top left-hand corner of side Delta. We have our Brazilian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Ximius Gaming. It is Shakti. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the red Zerg, also representing Ximius Gaming. It is Dorminhoco. Okay, let's see. Immortal. Oh no. Okay, that I'm gonna need a translation for. Let us know. Let us know. As for now, we are going to be settling in. It is going to be, I believe, 15. Yeah, it's going to be 15 hatch here from our Zerg player. Going for his initial opener. Likewise, Shakti will confirm. Hatch gas pool. Again, there was a bit of an earlier hatchery to make sure it gets placed before the probe did arrive, but outside of that, standard opener from our Zerg player. Standard opener. Well, he's from Brazil, papi. Ah. Obrigado. Fala galera, papi. Fala galera. As likewise, Shakti going for a gate expand into Cybercore. So nothing too wild here in the early game, which again, I don't really expect anything too crazy between these two players, at least early on. We saw last game that our Zerg player here tried to rush into Ling Hydra and almost was able to get there. I mean, got into Hydras, working towards Lurkers, but was caught out in the end. And once again, we do have a Stargate opener from Shakti. So Stargate into Oracle, pretty similar to the previous game. No kind of crazy Twilight Council, DTs, David Epps, nothing too crazy. As Dorminhoco, he's going to back up. He's going to be respecting the Adepts. Adept will be able to catch a Tumor, though. Nice pick up. Tumor goes down. Shakti pulling away. And looks like it's going to be on Shakti to just harass, to try to dip in between the bases. Double Adept opener. Initially with Oracles as well. And we'll see if Dorminhoco can keep up. Oh my, speaking of keeping up, that is Overlord speed. Okay, you have my attention. Overlord speed is usually not researched without good reason, without something like a German taxi planned. Show us what you got. There is going to be the lair on the way. That should be for Dropper Lords. Lings are amassing, so are Queens. Dorminhoco cutting workers earlier on. Still droning though, so I'm getting mixed signals. But again, this should be for aggression. And I imagine a Ling Queen all-in of some kind. I mean, could be Dropper Lords and Nidus. No extra gases, no Dropper Lord. I'm sorry, no Roach Warren is what I meant to say. Show us what you got. I mean, we don't even have that many Queens. We have 3, soon to be 4. Oracle dips in. We'll get 5 drone kills. Oh god. 5 worker kills here at the natural. Lair is done. There it is. Here come the Dropper Lords. Let's go. But we're still there we go. We still made an extra wave of workers. I think that was just to recover what we just lost. And it is going to be a Ling Queen, a Dropper Lord all in. It's all or nothing here for Dorminhoco. Queens are loaded in. And we're sending everything across the map. And we'll see what we can get done. Breaking the third base is not going to be good enough. We're going to have to break the natural. For now, though, we're going to try and force a fight. There's a shield battery, there's an overcharge. Oracle does spot at least the Lings. And the Dropper Lord as well. And Shakti does know. Shakti's ready for this. Likewise, Lings say, the wall's open! No! The wall's wide open! Lings, they flood into the natural, they flood into the main. Queens get chopped over. And they will be able to keep up with those Stalkers. No shield battery, not yet. Stalkers getting caught out, massive pickoff. Ay, ay, ay. Not like this, Papi. Lings, they're wreaking havoc in the main. GG gets called. And just like that, Dorminhoco ties up the series. We're going to the ace match. Let's go. Oh my god. And again, Shakti, he saw it coming. He saw it coming at a time. He saw the Lings. He saw the Dropper Lord. He was getting ready at the third, but not at the natural. The door was wide open. Shakti doing his best hero impression. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Immortal is broken, right? Yeah. There you go. Ah. Thank you for the translation. Thank you, thank you. But GG, well played. We are going to the ace match. Let's go. Let us go. But yeah, Shakti fumbling the ball a little bit in the defense. And suddenly that does leave things wide open here. Suddenly, can we cause the upset and can Dorminhoco bring Shakti down and knock him out? Can he do it? Let's go. Here we go. As we have our players ready, we're going to be loading into Alkione. Okay, gotta wake up. Oh my god. We're jumping into the ace match here. It all ends here. It all ends on Alkione. And we'll see if we go for another crazy all-in. I mean, it could work again. Not gonna lie. Could happen. And here we go, we're getting into game 3 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner. We have our Brazilian Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Eximius Gaming. It is Shakti. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Brazilian Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Eximius Gaming as well. It is Dorminhoco. Let's go. Once again, going for the 15 hatch. So 15 hatchery here. Should be hatch gas pool, I imagine, once again. Oh. Never mind. Dorminhoco going for a proxy instead, going for a hatch block, I imagine. Okay, you have my attention. Drone is being sent out. Across the map towards the natural. And we'll see how Shakti responds to this. Now, Shakti, he's born and raised in the flames of Eric, so I'm sure he's used to this sort of thing. As the drone is just building up. Massing up more minerals. Gas pool opener. And the 300 minerals are ready. Hatchery is going to be thrown down as a part of the wall. Hatchery is placed. And we'll see how Shakti responds. Does respond with a Forge. Forge is on the way, Zealot's on the way as well. Forge is for cannons. In this kind of game state, because you have so little to work with, so little production, cannons are the Protoss' best friend here. Cannons, shield batteries, individual gateway units. We'll see if Dorminhoco can pull this off. The slings are moving out. And I'm curious if Dorminhoco is even going to commit. No, yeah, he's expanding. Does expand back at home. Moving out initially with 4 Lings, only 4, and yeah, he's droning. Dorminhoco is droning up. Dorminhoco, he might even just cancel this expansion. Might just cancel the hatchery as he does delay the Nexus. Cannons on the way. Zealot swiping at the base itself. Stalker's gonna pop out. And there's a cancel. So Dorminhoco, he's double expanding back at home, droning up as we speak. Link speed is going to be kicking in a little bit earlier as well. Bear that in mind. And the game will progress. The game will continue. Dorminhoco is just establishing his natural base, still just droning. Link speed is almost done. And Shakti can't really do much here. I mean, Warp Gate is still finishing up. We have Stargate on the way in the main. Everything was delayed. The tech, the expansion in favor of this defense. So Dorminhoco is going to be looking quite comfortable back at home. He is going to be able to freely drone up. You could definitely argue that maybe the Spore was a little bit early. But it's building up his queens. Likewise, Dorminhoco is not fully aware if it is even a Stargate opener. Could be a Twilight Council. Ooh, and that is an early Roach Warren. Very early. Especially considering the game state and how chaotic the start was. That was sub 4 minutes. So it looks like either we're being hyper safe or Dorminhoco plans on being more aggressive. Oracle moves out across the map. Dorminhoco rallying out his Lings. Oracle is revealed. Oh! Will end up forcing a cancellation on the Spore. Oh, that's a kill though! It's a kill, not a cancel. Spore goes down. Big pickoff. Spore in the third. Oh! Gets one drone in the main. Nice Spore trick from Dorminhoco. Does save his worker. Roaches are amassing. Again, that's a lot of roaches this early on. So it looks like Dorminhoco is going for a move out. He's going for a push. But back at home, Shakti has Stalkers already. Dorminhoco was hoping that maybe there'd be a lack of ground units at least. Roach is going to be forced to engage in the center of the map. This is not really what he wanted. Yeah, one Roach goes down. Oracle's going to be able to support, and I do feel like Shakti can take this fight. Yeah, he can and he will. Gets 2, 3, 4. Every single Roach is going to fall. These are expensive losses for the Zerg. Again, this is not the fight that he wanted. He was hoping there would be a handful of Adepts and Saturation. Instead, soon to be Blink Stalkers. With that, Dorminhoco's in trouble. He is rallying out Lings. Behind this, gonna attempt to drone. Again, he has catching up to do. Yeah, Shakti did play it safe. So now the Protoss has an economic advantage. +1 is on the way. Blink is on the way. Third base getting saturated. Dorminhoco, he still has to tech. Lair just began. Droning. And the game will settle down. Again, the early Roach Warren was a bit of a gamble from Dorminhoco, and it didn't quite pay off. As he's going to threaten a run by. Stalkers are moving out. There's not much to defend back at home. There's only queens. Not like this. Yeah, no Lings to defend. Lings are moving across the map, but there's side defense. Shakti does push in, catches a reinforcing Roach, gets an Overlord, and can go for the queens as well. I think that was the last transfuse. Shakti just waiting for blink. It's done in 10 seconds. Dorminhoco up against the wall. Both players are supply blocked. Ravager's morphing in. And Shakti is going to be able to target fire those Ravagers. Gets one. It's one so far. Rotating towards the left. Catching another Overlord. And tempted by the Ravagers. Oh, the Biles will connect. Dorminhoco at least gets one Oracle. It's something. But it's still contained. And you can see Shakti still rallying across the map. He knows that he has the advantage. He knows that he can push forward. Speaking of, another Roach goes down. Ravager as well. The Roach count is finally building up. It's getting there. But it's still not enough. Biles take down one Stalker. Does force Shakti back. And now Shakti can focus on his fight, on his micro. Getting 15 roaches so far. It's a lot of roaches. I'm just morphing in. A Hydrogen on the way. But these are still expensive losses for Dorminhoco. Shakti, instead of pushing up a ramp, yeah, does rotate instead. I do think that Shakti can be a little bit more assertive here and be a little bit more in the face of Dorminhoco, trading against the Roach Ravager. Instead, he's playing it safe, getting a 4th base, taking up into Immortal production, Temple Archives, second Robos on the way. I mean, there's no rush here for Shakti. Getting another Ravager. The Zerg player is just contained. Like, Hydras are good, and he's got an Infestation bit for that's going to be for Hive Tech, for Lurkers as well, but he has no economy. He is double expanding. Getting his 4th and 5th at the same time. Shakti with the terrifying army. Again, waiting for charge. Charge not yet done. And yeah, he's just building up into Immortals, Archons. Storm just started. Now, if Dorminhoco is given time, if he's able to at least saturate a 4th base and even hold on to a 5th, then he can max out and refine his army. But until then, he's still one step behind. Even though the supplies look similar, I mean, the supply does lie. It's one of those things where the roaches do inflate the supply, and we still are lacking upgrades. We're still lacking Hive Tech. So it is still an uphill battle for the Zerg. We have a Zealot run by, getting eyes on the expansion. Shakti likewise rotating over. Gets eyes on the army. And he does dive in. And again, this army gets so exposed. Massive swords on the Hydras. Oh my god, on the Hydras and the Roaches. And Dorminhoco's army is just going to melt. Does stutter step forward, trying to trade with these Stalkers. But, there's only so much he can do against this kind of army. I say that Shakti is going to have to retreat. Reinforcements coming in, takes down the final Ravager. The Hydras as well. At the same time, Zeltse takes down the left-hand side. And both expansions are going to fall. Shakti winning on both flanks. GG, well played, gets called, and Shakti will take the series 2-1. GG. GG, well played. It was just a rough start here for Dorminhoco. I mean, I should say, I liked the opener, going for the kind of fake proxy hatch and forcing an overreaction. I wasn't too fond of the roach follow-up. If you remember, when he invested so quickly, so heavily into those early game roaches, they did not pay for themselves at all. They were more of a detriment more than anything, and that did set Dorminhoco behind. It ate into his own economy, into his own worker counts, into his third base and fourth base timings, and it set everything behind. And with that, GG. GG, well played. Shakti does advance on to the semis.